These are notes for myself. Um, Life coaching part 12C. Leaving off from where I was earlier this afternoon because I had Christmas dinner. Twice driving home alone from the Target Plaza, including one time at night after a movie, driving alone from the city back to East Aurora after Manny and I had a fight. I have driven alone around the city when Manny and I lived there comfortably, took lifts with Manny, like when we went to lifts as in LYFT, took lifts with Manny, like when we went to see Alex Vincent. We didn't live in downtown Buffalo when we saw Alex. We were living back here in East Aurora when we saw Alex. That was October 22nd, 2021. And I know that date for sure because something extremely significant happened. No, excuse me. We met Alex in Angola October 21st, 2021. October 21st, 2021 and October 22nd, 2021 were extremely significant days for me that I got into really in-depth detail with Susie Wu with. But we were living in East Aurora already. I drove Manny and I all over, like when we would go to Catalyst Gym on Eggert Road. I don't know why I love the word Eggert, Eggrt. It's gotta be named after somebody. I like that. That's up in Amherst. Anyway, or when we went to the village of Lancaster to hang out multiple times, or when I would leave my car there. So I'd leave my car technically I left it in Depew, in the Depew-Lancaster border. Then we would get a ride to downtown, which was funny because one of our Lyft rides ended up being a former neighbor's car, and he has extremely distinct car. You know it's his car. Nobody else has a car like his, and he actually lived on the same street as us as when we lived in Buffalo. I remember one time he picked us up from the tops at the Depew-Lancaster borderline, which was funny. But this is all going back to when I was completely free. So here it seems like I'm just reminiscing of good memories. These are just some of the many times in the past I comfortably and joyfully did things, although I did at times get burnout from being the only one driving. That was a big factor, and I told that to Susie Wu and some other people. That is a big factor. The burnout, I'm not saying that was the only cause. I'm not saying that was the biggest cause, but I'm saying it was a factor. I also in the past was able to comfortably and calmly drive myself alone from Como Park in Lancaster back to home. Not back to the city, but back to the rural community I live in. My brain didn't process distances as being as long. So, Como Park is like sort of when you're entering into Lancaster. It's from my direction, it's probably 2 miles. So you enter into Lancaster, and you have to go through East Aurora, then Elma, then Lancaster. So you get to Elma Lancaster border. It's probably about another, I'm trying to think, maybe a little bit more, like another 2.5 miles past the border. You're in the rural part of Lancaster, like where my Auntie Teresa and Uncle Leo used to live in the rural part. You're not in the village of Lancaster. But anyway, I used to go up to Como Park and go, oh, this is a quick drive, this isn't too far. But now my brain thinks of it as being far, and still does. But I've made improvements. And I don't know why, but at night time, things always feel much, much longer than in the daytime. So daytime driving does help. But like I said, I've definitely made improvements in how my brain thinks. My brain didn't. Oh, here we go. It'll be better when Manny gets his own place, though, without crazy roommates. I don't know why I wrote that, because that had nothing to do with me, but that was definitely something better for Manny. And he did move out. He ended up moving in with me. And now he's not living with me. And, all right. And then I have your focus on Jesus. I don't know why I wrote that, but that's not good advice at any time. How could I be misinterpreting the evidence? Well, I am worst case scenarioing in my head, but I have many tools to help myself. And what if everything just turns out great? Or if not great, everything turns out pretty well. I mean, I have some great times and great memories from the past. Even simple things like going at night with Manny to Home Depot in North Buffalo when we lived downtown to get an extra key made, or when we went back to get a Christmas tree. That was Christmas of 2020. What assumptions about that limiting belief are you making? I am making the assumption that it controls me. I am making the assumption that fear and anxiety rule over me. I must remember that I am better and stronger than stupid fear, because OCD, all of that comes from the devil, and I got God on my side. Could others have a different perspective about this? Of course, they have seen me be extremely independent in the past, such as flying by myself home from California to Buffalo, even though I was nervous doing it, or Manny and I going to the Thousand Islands together, my parents knowing I didn't constantly need rides from them. Could this limiting belief just be an exaggeration of the truth? Of course. Is this belief really true? No, I can independently venture out, but whether alone or if Manny comes along, because I've done it before. See, I'm telling myself this, but this is before I did a lot of work with Susie Wu, of removing hexes, of downloading timelines, of doing energy healing. Like, there's so much had to be involved, and I still have tons and tons and tons and tons of emails to reread over from her, take notes on, pictures. I probably have at least 28 slide pictures on my phone that I have to look at, that she sent at least from months ago. It's just so much to look at, but what I've done with her already has been extraordinarily helpful. Not to say Hayden wasn't helpful either, he was, but I mean, Susie Wu was like, don't get me wrong, Hayden is helpful, but Susie was like the creme de la creme of help. Is this belief really true? Oh, I said that already. Is this belief just a habit you got into? Yes, a habit caused by what-if thinking. Actually caused by a lot more than that, but again, this is from January 20 of this year that I'm writing all this. January 10th, 2024. Did this belief come from someone else? No. Does this belief serve you in all situations of your life? No. I was just reading something Manny had in my notebook. Does this belief serve you at all? No. Does this belief hold you back at all? Extremely. Does this belief support or restrict you? Restrict. Yes, it detracts value from my life. Breaking limited beliefs, part 2. Timeline questions. Up until this point right now, you felt that you can't comfortably drive far alone, haven't you? How will it feel from this moment onwards that I can comfortably drive far alone? Fantastic, relieving, joyful, happy, ecstatic, because I am free, and be able to comfortably stay at a place for a long time with Manny or alone. How many days in a row of feeling comfortable driving far and staying somewhere far would it take you to know you can be comfortable driving and staying far? I have no idea, the sooner the better. How does it feel to be free, to be able to calmly drive to anywhere and stay for hours? Amazing. It's really, really an amazing feeling. How do you feel about that old version of you now? I lost weight and I don't want to talk about that old version of myself anymore. Then I gained it all back and more. So I have to, but that's my own doing. I have to exercise later tonight, in fact. I'm just going to keep going. How does the future look? To God be the glory. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I am strong with God. The future looks so happy. Breaking limiting beliefs, part 3. Association, disassociation. Under association, I have remembering things, associated, using all of your senses to be in the moment. Disassociation, I have pulled away from something so you can see you in front of you. Limiting belief storytelling, all the world's a stage. Shakespeare. Telling the story of my limiting belief, break down the limiting belief of the past so it doesn't happen again. January 11th. Disassociate ourselves, see ourselves playing out that limiting belief. Breaking limiting beliefs, part 4. You can do this, Megan. My mom and Manny knows that it should be know that I can drive to anywhere. He knows I can do anything and spend hours at fun places, example the zoo, because I've done it before. The limiting belief is stupid, it's archaic, it's nonsense, and I'm letting go of it. Leverage. What will happen? I will be able to go to see many events and places such as the movies, museums, a play, at Shays, the zoo, none in or near East Aurora. What won't happen? I won't be stuck and limited in East Aurora and a part of Elma. Gain pleasure and lose pain. So what are you going to do about this? Keep breaking through the limiting belief. I am good enough to do whatever I want to do. What if it works? It'll be extremely freeing. Almighty God be praised. I can do a lot of fun things. I can be independent. I can strengthen my bond with others. I can meet many more people. Don't compare myself to others. What can I be better at? What can I progress in? Progress in. What can I progress in? Key decisions. What more empowering decision can you make right now? That I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, that I can go anywhere and drive anywhere calmly, alone or with my friend, and stay out for hours happily. I can decide that God protects me. I can take an empowering decision to move on with my life, and that means not having OCD anymore, and it means being able to comfortably and calmly drive far alone and be out anywhere far from East Aurora for hours. I can do it. References plus perspective, our internal references. References, under that I have self, under that I have EXP, and I have an arrow pointing towards EXP, says other, and an arrow and the word observer below EXP pointing up to EXP. I have reference superhighway, where focus goes, energy flows. Where focus goes, energy flows. That needs to be on my refrigerator when I get home. Don't let one little problem ruin your whole day. The observer is a stranger and has no emotional attachment, but gives you another reference. Where focus goes, energy flows. 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 Oh, I think next is Hayden's class. I redid color level 1. Then I took color therapy level 2. Oh, no, I have... How much more on... I have more life coaching notes. Energy protection with Joey Wargachuk. Hang on one second. I'm just going to see how much more I have here. These notes are for myself. Color therapy level 2. Okay, I'm definitely going to upload color therapy level 2 for certain. Learn Sicilian. Okay, we're going to keep this. I just want to finish up with the life coaching notes. There's just a little bit more here. Then we'll go up to probably color therapy. Where focus goes, energy flows. I wrote it again. Make the conscious choice of what to focus on. Go out and physically create happy things. Example, go out to eat at a restaurant you really like. Example, the Polish Villa. The Polish Villa 2, which unfortunately shut down. They kept only the one open, and the one small one they kept open is not anywhere near as good. And I don't know why they kept the small one open, because the big one was like really, really, really Polish looking inside. That's too bad. I'm trying to see what restaurants that I enjoy eating at that aren't in my area. I just thought of the Japanese restaurant on Delaware Avenue that had hibachi, but that place closed down too. Tokyo too. I like Saigon Bangkok in the village of Hamburg. That's really good. The guy who owns it is from Thailand too. They're really, really good. I like there. Um, and I like El Canelo. It's in El Canelo. Everybody who works there is from Mexico. The owners are Mexican. I think it's family run. They have the best Mexican food in. Yeah, they just have the best Mexican food. They're in a small plaza across the street from McKinley Mall. They're really good too. I like. Oh, I like chicken wings. Duff's has really good. They're in Orchard Park. Duff's has really good chicken wings. I haven't been there in ages. Chicken wings are so overpriced these days. So overpriced, but they're really good. Trying to think of other restaurants. Oh, I like the Asa Ransom House in Clarence Hollow. I went there for my birthday, which funny enough was 2 days ago. I went there for my birthday in December 2020 with Manny, and we stayed over. That was a really happy memory. I like that a lot. See what else? La Hacienda up in Niagara Falls is really good. I wanted to go there for my birthday this year, but they were closed. So instead, I'm gonna go to the botanical gardens. I just haven't gotten to it yet because it's been closed for Christmas. I'm going with my parents, and but one day I would really like to go there with Manny. But certain things have to change on my part and on his part. I just leave it at that. Certain things have to change. Where else do I like to go out to eat? I don't want to name there. Was that? Yeah, Sinatra's is extremely good. Sinatra's is really good. Schwabel's is it's not one of my favorites, but it's good. But I got really overpriced. So I don't go there anymore. I would really like to try the West Side Bazaar, and that's really good. I'd also like to try you know, more Asian restaurants. There's an Asian market in West Buffalo. Anyway, let's just keep going. There's many good places. I'm sure there's places I'm not thinking of that I'd be like, oh right, if I said them aloud. The reference superhighway. That was a really wonderful visualization guide. I must listen to Graham Nichols doing a visualization guide for the reference superhighway. Happy memories. Pushing a calendar across the floor as a baby. A colander. Alright, so happy memories. I guess this must have been one of my first memories. Pushing a colander across the kitchen floor as a baby. Being able to ride my bike without training wheels at age 6 when I lived in LA. When Mrs. Moreland brought in the parrot or toucan to our 5th grade class and talked about the rainforest. Being in Tampere, Finland, walking around when the Christmas decorations were up. And why do I have where spelled incorrectly? Where's my pen? Whatever, I'll leave it alone. Being at the Buffalo Zoo with Manny, walking around, seeing the animals inside and outside, and having lunch there, and then seeing more animals. Yeah, that was fun. They had really good chicken tenders there. That was. I know the irony in going to see animals and then eating an animal, but okay. They have really good chicken tenders there. Metaphors, common metaphors. It was a piece of cake. I'm at the end of my rope. Why don't you put the rope down and come over and have a chat? Think outside the box. Which box do you want us to think outside of? It's as hard as nails. Life is a roller coaster. Give me a call when you're on a smooth bit. Life is a nonstop party. Let's talk about the truth. What's happening in your life? Reply to say to destructive metaphors. Listen for metaphors for the next 2 weeks and ask people what they mean by it. Interesting. I'm going to stop here. It's just 20 minutes long.